So good morning and welcome to my blog. This is Cassidy, as you know. This morning, well, I'm coming to you. I have, with so many things I've got to do, both today and tomorrow. This is going to be a really busy 3 days. I have a lot of writing to do today, and I do mean that. I have writing to do tomorrow. I'm going to be working with some voter registration people tomorrow to help register people for voting for the upcoming election. And then Monday, I have to do my 5-hour drive out and back to see my doctor for my semi-annual checkup. So there is just no rest for me this weekend. In fact, I spent 3 hours doing my recap last night, and then went out and got something to eat. By the time I got to bed, it was close to midnight. I was a little tipsy. It happens. But I decided I wanted to do this. Sorry about that, I'm adjusting. Oh, if you'll notice, I have some friends over here who are watching the video. That's Helena, my crocheted llama, my drama llama, because I am the keeper of the drama llama in my crocheting group that I'm in, Hodgepodge Crochet. I was more or less the keeper of the drama llama. So somebody actually, for an exchange, made me. They crocheted a llama for me. And then, of course, I have Toothless. He's watching. So, my friends, such as they are, they're about the only friends I have. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going through very slowly the letter, the book, C for Continuing. I'm going through very slowly because I just don't want to throw a whole lot out. It seems to put, in the last 2 novels when I was doing that, it seemed like I was under an extreme amount of pressure to get 1,000 words or so written a night so that I could put that out the next day. And it was really burning me out. And I'm finding now, if I write at my own pace and then just release like 400 or 500 words at a time for an excerpt, it helps me not feel as if I'm burning out on what I'm doing. And that's important for a writer. The last thing you want to do is get burned out on your own writing. You write so much, and then after a while you're like, I'm tired of this crap. I just want to do something else. Rumor has it, I don't know who's saying these rumors, but rumor has it that's one of the reasons why George R.R. Martin is having such a hard time getting The Winds of Winter out for publication, is that he's just basically spent so much time working on A Song of Ice and Fire that he's done with it. And it could be true. I don't want to burn out. I don't want to be like halfway through the series and go, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. And I was starting to feel that way at the end of the second novel. I was beginning to feel like, oh man, this is becoming such a chore to write. Almost like I was, well, people are expecting to see something tomorrow. And it really is. There was this whole thing of, I have to produce, I have to get this out. And it was wearing me out. Now I'm just kind of taking my time. And I'll write like 400 or 500 words at some point today. Maybe 5, 600, 700, who knows? And I'll write a few hundred more in the morning. And I'll still be ahead of the curve because all I got to do is like, well, here's 500 words or 400 words. Enjoy. It takes time for you to read it on your end. But like I said, I'm staying ahead of the curve, and I don't feel pressure, which is what you don't want. Some writers work real well under pressure. I'm beginning to finally get back into this novel, where when I first started it 3 weeks ago, I was kind of like, ugh, do I really want to do this? And I'll be honest, I almost didn't do it. I almost was going to push it off until about September or October, because I felt like, if I get into this, it's 500 days. I got to mark off like 500 days that I'm going to spend writing this, which means if I stick to my normal schedules, I won't finish C for Continuing until the end of 2017. And that's a lot of work to do. I'm looking at my feet, don't worry. That's a lot of work. It really is. So the best thing to do is just take my time, and I will get it done. You know, if I know I have 500 days to write it, so I have 500 days to write it. And the thing is, with writing this, I haven't gotten back into A for Advanced to do any editing since I've started on this novel. And part of it's been because I've been working busy on recapping and stuff for the last 3 weeks as well, which I put on myself because I wanted to do. This is what comes from being a writer. You want to stop writing after a while. You know, oh, I need to take a break. And then the minute you get into taking that break, you get bored. You're like, I should be writing something. Really, I did that with my recap. That's one of the reasons why I'm recapping Sense8. Is that after I finished up recapping Fear the Walking Dead, I was like, oh, great. I can take 3 months off and not do anything. And after about a week and a half, I was just like, I need to be doing something. I really do. I felt like I needed to be writing, and I didn't have anything to write. So as I said, I think I'll just do a recap, because now that I've got Netflix, I can watch this. And I didn't realize that each time I sit down to write one of those recaps, it takes me about 3 hours, 3 to 3.5 hours, because I'm writing about 3,000 words, and I'm getting video captures and everything else for the series. So it really is just crazy intensive that you don't realize you're putting yourself through. And I'm doing the same thing with my novels. It's just like, after a while, you don't realize how much work you're actually doing and how much pressure you actually feel to get these things done. It's crazy. So that's why I've only been releasing small bits. In the past, I might have just written up this entire chapter or this entire scene and dumped out like, 3,000 words at one shot. I'm not doing that now. It's easier on me. It's not easier on you, because I know people are like, I want to read this. But it's easier on my sanity, and I'm not having Annie and Carrie just like go completely crazy. That's for the next novel. No, seriously, I'm gonna take a drink of water here. Water. Not a clear alcoholic beverage, but water. It's too early in the morning to drink. Trust me. I know. I've been there. So I am going to, for this morning, I'm going to read an excerpt about the next 450, 500 words. It's actually, I think, 460 words from Carrie's letter. And we left off with, well, things didn't go quite as well at Casa Malavi as they should have. So I'm going to move this camera over here. There we go. Hi. Camera's over there. It's over on my TV. That's what I love. I love doing this. And I know the camera is right there so I can see it. And the letter is right in front of me now. So I am going to do my best to read this without stumbling through like I normally do. I do tend to stumble. That's why I got water here, because I do get tongue-tied. So we're going to pick up. Annie wanted to see what was going to come next. Carrie's already come out to his parents, and things got kind of wavy. And she finds out what's coming next, and this is what Carrie has to say. And I will try to change the voices. I will tell you when it's Carrie and then it's Annie. So this is Carrie's letter. This starts on Carrie's letter. And he says, they started getting weird after that, wanting to know if I did strange stuff, that's in quotes, like performing ceremonies and wearing witches' robes. My dad even wanted to know if I had a wand and a witch's hat. I told him we didn't do or have any of that stuff, that we wore normal school uniforms and that our magic was crafted using imagination and willpower, but that I did belong to a coven, and the main part of the school where we lived was called the pentagram because that's how it looked from the air. Neither of them seemed to care to hear that, so I didn't bother going into details on some of our holidays. Which probably a good thing Carrie didn't say, oh, by the way, we celebrate Beltane and Samhain and stuff like that, because parents wouldn't have got it. Back to the letter. It was funny though, because when I asked them if they wanted to see any more magic, they were quick to say no. My mom not only didn't want to see any at all, but she was real sketchy about me even using it when I was home. I told her when I was up in my room or alone in the house, I often used it because after 2 years at the school, I was used to doing stuff like levitating things to me or opening and closing doors with a wave. Mom didn't want to see that, ever. She was pretty adamant about it, too. Now we cut over to Annie. Annie is actually saying this out loud. I can't believe they don't want him to use magic around them. Annie sat trying not to get angry at Carrie's mother and found it difficult not to see her as a short-sighted normal. This is her thinking. Their son is one of the most gifted in our level, and they treat him like he still attends school in Cardiff. She pushed her emotions down and continued reading. Now we're back to Carrie's letter. I thought things might be okay after that, but Mom decided to press ahead with the threat she made to Ms. Rutherford about me returning to school. I asked her why, and she said, I'm not kidding. Quote, I'm not sure that having you know how to do that is a good idea, unquote. She couldn't even say magic, which kind of surprised me. I asked her if she thought I was just going to forget everything I've learned in the last 2 years, but before she answered, I told her she was overreacting. That was the wrong thing to do. Mom blew up at me and said I was in no position to tell her what to do and that they were the only ones who could decide what was going to happen with school. And I told them no, they weren't. See, cuts off. This is back to Annie. Annie quickly skimmed over the information Bernice had already given her on the fact that going to any foundation school was Carrie's decision and his alone, and went directly to his parents' reaction. But I'm not going to tell you what that reaction is, because that's all I'm going to read here. Now let me see if I can... Hey, I can't find my cursor. Oh, there it is. Let me bring this back. There we go. Yeah, I'm being a tease. I'm not going to read any more of the letter from that. That's actually 460 words, almost 500 words for the excerpt. That's all you're getting. Sorry. Not sorry. But I finally feel like I'm getting back into the novel the way I should, like I used to. I mean, today I'm kind of sitting here going, I got so much to do, and it is kind of driving me crazy, but I want to get this written, and there's so much to do and say. It's just going to be crazy. And I know that there are going to be certain parts, excuse me, scratching my nose. There are going to be certain parts, it's going to be hard to get through. But a lot of work ahead of me. I mean, I'm only 10,000 words in. What, I got about 30 times that much more to write, you know. I put this on myself, nobody else. There's nobody sticking a gun to my head saying you have to write this, so. I'm such a pathetic creature. But if you're a writer of any kind, or an artist of any kind, or any type of creative person, you know this struggle, and the struggle is real. The struggle is, I must create, but when you start creating, you're like, do I have to do this now? So, coming up on 15 minutes, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed my rambling prose. I hope you enjoyed my friends here who came to watch. And, well, I hope you enjoy everything that I've been doing. So have an enjoyable Saturday, in first Saturday in August. Yay. And have a good rest of the weekend. Take care. Bye.